Hello students, welcome to today's lesson. In today's lesson we'll be looking at working with numerical data. Now these are different sets of data and we'll be carrying out different number formattings on these data based on the subheadings that we have here. So without wasting much time, let's begin. In today's lesson we're looking at representing this list of data in the form of decimals, and to do that it is quite easy. Now to do that, you simply highlight the entire row, the entire range of data under decimal by pressing the Control key and the Shift key and pressing the down arrow key. And then when you're done, you go under the Home tab, and under the number here, that helps you or enables you to carry different number formattings on the list of numbers numerical data you have. There's a drop down. You click on the drop down. Now I'd like to bring to your attention that some values here or some numerical data here are in the form of scientific notations, while some are in the form of decimals. So this is in the form of scientific notations, this is in the form of scientific notation, and we want to represent these data in the form of number. So what we do is, after highlighting, clicking on the Home tab, clicking on the drop down, we'll click on number. So you see every single number or numerical data under decimal begins to reflect in the form of decimal, and you can increase the total number of decimal place you want the values to have. So you do that by simply clicking on increase decimal. Now once you see that the data or once you see that the numbers you've increased its decimal has gotten to the point of 0, you have to stop there, because it has shown that this is the extent to which you can increase it and you can't increase it beyond that. Now if I can look very clearly from here, it is obvious that every single data here has an extra 2 zeros behind them on an average, and this means that we have to reduce the decimal point by 2 zeros. So we decrease it by 2, and here we are, the values are showing in the form of decimal. But sometimes it is quite okay to leave your values or the numerical data showing in the form of a scientific notation. So to do that is simply to click on the drop down and click on scientific, and so here we are. Now the next thing we'll be doing is to reflect these values here in the form of a percentage. We'll simply begin by highlighting the entire values on the percentage column, and we'll come here and we'll click on percentage. Now you see this value is showing in the form of 1050%, and percentage just only ranges from 1 to 100. So this means that we have not gotten it right. Now the best way to do this is to simply do it in this manner. Follow me. So for you to establish a numerical data in the form of a percentage, you must make sure that it is in the form of 0.105. This simply means that every single value you want to represent in the percentage, you have to divide it by 100. So that's what we'll simply do, and I'll be making use of a formula for that. So follow me. I'll bring in my equal to sign, type in the value or the cell address of the value, it shows there, and then I'll divide it by 100. When I'm done, I'll press the enter key, and here we have 0.105. Now I'll simply make use of the autofill option by double clicking on it, and it automatically calculates for other values, right? So the next thing I'll do is, while it is highlighted in this manner, I simply click on percentage, and then you see the values are now reflecting in the form of percentage, but here they are reflecting in the form of a whole number. And why this is 11% and this is 10% is because you can simply approximate the value of 10 to 11, because the value behind it or the value after the decimal point is greater than 5. The same thing occurs in here where we have 20 and here is 19.9. But we can simply reflect this in the form of a decimal as well by simply increasing the decimal. So when we do that, we have our values showing in the manner that they are, but this time having percentage is behind, and we can simply increase to 2 decimal places as well. Here we are, but then we have zeros behind, so this shows that this is the limit. We can extend it, so we decrease the decimal place, and this is this. Now the next thing we'll be doing is to make changes to this numerical data in the form of a currency. So we have these values. I'll simply highlight the entire column or the entire list of data under currency. This is not spelled correctly. This is currency. Yeah. So I highlight it, and then the next thing I will do is under the number, click on the drop down, and here you can see currency. So we can work with this as well, or I would like to show you a different way. After having this highlighted, you right click on it and click on the format cell. Under number, you click on currency. Now Excel gives you the option of choosing the currency style, so I'd like to pick the Naira sign. Alright, there we are. And then it gives you the option of you choosing how you want negative values to reflect. So I want them to reflect in this manner, or you want them to reflect in the form of a parenthesis. So I'll pick that, and then when I'm done, I can also choose the total number of decimal places I want my value to be in. And here Excel gives us an example to look at the sample of what we are doing. So when you are done, you click OK, and this is how the numbers reflect in the form of a currency. So if I have a negative value, let's say for instance this is a negative value, it shows in red. If this is a negative value, it shows in red, and if this is a negative value as well, it shows in red. So this is how we make formats or changes to values to represent them in form of a currency. And lastly, fractions. So the usual will highlight the entire list of numbers under fraction, and in the drop down we simply scroll and click on fraction. So our numbers are currently represented in the form of fraction. So this is how we work with numerical data, and we make changes to them in the various ways that they are. So if you have a question, do not hesitate to ask me. I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye bye for now.